Back again. This time I'm trying to pick the best colors for the iridescent paints now, and the pearlescent, trying to get the best combination now. You can see the iridescent there. The green looks a lot better. The antique silk is visible, but only in the off color, and that's not what you want. So you know what I'm thinking. Now the gold mother of pearl would show up if... Yeah, that's interesting. This is the normal light. The gold mother of pearl only shows up in the abnormal light, as does the jet stream blue. You can see it's slightly blue. The antique, that shows up, so does the green. Okay, so those two colors are not going to be part of the grouping. So I think if I were to pick the best colors for the motion picture refit, and if I can apply it softly enough, it would have to be the blue, the iridescent blue, but not the gold. The only gold that I would end up using would be the gold mother of pearl from the pearlescent line. Yes. Because that is the only color. Like the blue, it just doesn't show up strongly enough. This pearlescent blue, it doesn't show up strongly enough, whereas that blue does. You see? But the gold does, and it's a better gold than that other one. The green shows up, so does the red. So the only thing you're really changing is the gold I use. You do use the pearlescent gold, not the iridescent one. So there you go. There's your color scheme for the TMP refit. You're just picking one color. Now, what you have to do is you have to get it so it's very, very soft. How much time do I got here? Oh my god, you got 17 minutes of footage. Well, it's not going to take that long. But what you have to do with the blue, because it's so intense, you want to make sure that when you apply it, it's basically just a dry brushing. Virtually no paint on the brush at all. You get most of it off, and you only have the faintest whisper of paint on the decal. Because you don't want brush strokes on the decal, and you want it to be very, very soft. Yeah, I gotta get this out of the shadow, of course. You want it to be very soft. Now, look at that. You can see something. But look how soft that is. Now, I'm going to keep going at different segments of across that line with the blue on the brush, and we're just going to go along until we see when it doesn't show up anymore. So, let's take a look. Well, it doesn't show up anywhere. Oh, there it is. There's a faint trace. Okay, so it does show up. It just shows up so faintly that you can barely see it. But it does show up. You see? But you see how you cannot see a trace of it on the card? So, see? You can't see a trace of it on the card beyond the leftmost. But look, 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 look. There it is. So it's on there, but it's nearly invisible, and that's what you must do. So now I'm going to write that down. Too harsh. Come on, pen. Don't fail me now. Just right equals dry brushed. Because that's what I've noticed with a lot of refits. that they have the blue on there, but they have the harsh yellow on the bare hull. So as you see, there you go. So if you're going to use that blue, it's got to be very, very faint so that you can barely see it. You can see it there, but in plain light, it shows up yellow. You can see it here, just a hint, but it doesn't show up on the card. And that is what you want. And maybe, just maybe, that is the solution for all the paints. Get the consistency right so you see a trace of the interference color without actually having it visible in these off colors here. Yes, that's it. Because when you do the Aztec decals on the Enterprise A, it's only going to be the two colors, the Jet Stream and the Gold Mother of Pearl. That's it. Okay, well, that's success. And there's a good lighting scheme. That's perfect. And here is the ship with the one side that is mostly unpainted. So that gives me the possible success. All right, good. That's perfect. So we'll see you later. Bye-bye.